Yeah, and so I think there's a big difference between people who take the craft very seriously. I've told this story before, but I had a former international player commentating with me at one stage, and he came off air. First time he'd done it, he's like, "That was easy. I could do this forever." And I was like, "Well, then you're not doing it right. It shouldn't be easy, right? If that's the case, you're just talking about stuff that you already know, right? Now, the trick is for you to be able to do this, also to learn how to communicate, right? I don't think commentators are taught how to communicate correctly. I don't think they're taught what the job means from a research standpoint. I don't think they're held accountable enough for what they do. But mostly, I think it's because, I'm going to do this test, then I'm going to have 3 weeks off, then I'm going to do this. I'm actually coaching an academy this week. Then I've got a bunch of speaking engagements, and I've got a sponsor golf tournament that I have to run. Oh, and then I have commentary on the end of that. And I think that too often that is the case. There's too many parts of the system of cricket commentary that don't allow for us to have better commentators. And as someone who's done consultancy work for broadcasters before, it's like if you what they do, and I promise you this happens over and over again, they just keep going for the next player who's retired. They put them on air, and then they if they're good, they get more work, and if they're bad, they get no work. And it's like, well, you've just thrown someone on air with no stuff, and they always say the same things. They always say, just be yourself, right? And I always do it in a different way. When I get commentators, I always say, you're here because you're you, right? But this is specifically why I have hired you. This is what I'm looking for from you, right? And I really clearly state what I'm looking for from them. You played here, you did this, you know about this, this is what you're passionate about, this is what you're good at communicating, this is what you want to do. This whole idea of like commentators is natural. It's like, I was with Dan Norcross when he started. He had a great voice. He's a 10 times better commentator now than when he started. Brett Lee's one of the best examples of this. Brett Lee is still a very average commentator. He was unlistenable to for 5 years. His best friend was the reason he was on, was on that commentary. And I don't think his best friend was. It gave him the job, but I don't think they helped him develop. I think he's got a lot better over the last couple of years as he's developed outside of that Channel 9 thing for many different reasons. But essentially, Brett Lee got better at it. Most people get better at it over a period of time, except for the ones who still say the same thing over and over again. And look, Ian Chappell, you talked about him as a very good commentator. He has about 5 stories that he rehashes all the time. That again, should be that should be trained out of him, right? Come up with more stories, talk to more people, get more interest. So I certainly think that all those things are a problem, but the fact that we have seen commentators get better over time, I think suggests to me that there is a way to do it. And I think at the moment, this idea of former player is currently famous or hot, or and so we'll get them on. They're good, but they weren't that good, so we won't get them back next year. Oh, but now they've just released a podcast, or they're really popular on social media, so we'll get them back again. It doesn't work. When you get a commentator, you have to train them up to be, this is what the job is. This is what the work is. And the best commentators I've worked with, as far as former players go, do a lot of research. And that's the difference, being able to do a lot of research. There are some people who are very good at blagging because they do have a good voice, as you said, and also because they're very good at talking. Cricket commentary, whether it be TV or radio, is essentially a conversation. People who are very good at conversation end up being very listenable to, even if they're not always giving us the insights that you and I might like. And I think that in this particular case, that is something that you can help commentators with. And I think that the easy thing to do is to pile onto the commentators, and we've all done it, and I've done it 100 times. The more important thing to do is to look at why this happens, and it's not the commentator's fault. It's quite literally, it's not even the producer's fault in some places, although sometimes it is the producer's fault. But quite often it's the fact that these people don't have it as a main job, and they're not taking it, they're not thinking about it as a main job. And if you think that you can get by just by being your name, you will get by being your name. If you start to be held to account, things change.